Good afternoon, guys. So today's our very first video of 2018. Like I said, this is actually my first time being outdoors in 2018. January was very busy with work. As you can tell, I'm overdue for a haircut. Okay, so today we're just going to cook up some steaks with some buddies, just relax out here. Nothing too strenuous. And I wanted to take the moment out of this and make a quick video on a recent development. Now, recently, a lot of small channels got an email from YouTube stating that if they have less than 1,000 subscribers or a certain amount of view time, if they have less than, I want to say, 4,000 hours, could be a little bit more, they're going to be demonetized. Obviously, this caused an uproar with the small channels, and a lot of people are saying it's unfair and it sucks, and it does suck. It does suck. However, I can't change what YouTube does, right? But I can give you guys some advice on how to grow as a channel. Now, I myself am not a gigantic channel, but, I think for having 37,000 subs in less than 3 years, I think we've done pretty well. So I'm going to give you guys some advice for you small channels out there, primarily outdoors channels, bushcraft channels, If you're watching and you're something completely different, some stuff I'm sure is relevant, some stuff might not be. So take it for what it's worth. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so in the meantime, our fire is getting nice and hot, so we have that good bed of coals for cooking. And then let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I want to talk about to you small channels is you got to be honest with yourself. Is this going to be completely hobby, or are you planning, if it deals with monetization and money, are you planning to make it more of a business? Now, yeah, business is a very ugly word, particularly when we're talking about outdoors channels. But once again, we're talking about money too, so you got to think of it that way as well. Now, let's use the analogy that you made a band, and you say you hang out in your garage with your buddies, drink a couple beers every Friday night, and you have a good time. There's nothing wrong with that. Or are you making a band and you want to be the next Rolling Stones, you want to be the next Bob Dylan, and develop a craft, and it sounds more interesting, right? It sounds more glamorous to be in demand, and you make money off of this stuff. However, you got to realize that also takes 20 times the amount of effort and stress and headaches and all that stuff, and dedication as well. Now, we have this idea nowadays where everyone wants to be their own boss. Hell, I want to be my own boss. The problem with that, though, is you got to realize that the boss is there to make sure things are running smoothly, and you're there on time, and you're not slacking it and stuff like that. And a lot of people lack that self-discipline to get yourself up in the morning when you don't feel like it, or work on something when you're sick and tired of it. And you have to have that dedication. If you don't have that, you're not going to get far. Now, once again, going back to if it's just a hobby, then it's just a hobby, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're just recording yourself hiking with your kids and you want to show them these videos later on when they're older, something like that, that's cool. YouTube isn't charging you to upload videos either, so you still gain something from this. But if you do want to make it a business, you're gonna have to think like a business. You're gonna have to up your game and stay competitive, because that's what it takes. Inspiration comes and goes, but it'll go, and you have to keep that dedication afterwards when it's gone. So ask yourself that once again. Is it all hobby, or are you trying to make a business out of it? Okay, guys, so let's move on to number 2, and that is to make your channel stand out and be distinct. Now, of course, that's, Captain Obvious, but that's the biggest problem nowadays, I feel, with outdoors channels. They're really creatively stifled. Now, not only do I make a lot of YouTube content, but I also view YouTube a lot as well. I'm very much an avid YouTube watcher, and a lot of times I'm looking for new channels, new ways they do stuff, and it's always very redundant stuff that the bigger channels are doing. So, you got to make that great impression. Say a lot of people, let's use a knife review as an example. Too many people buy a knife and make a video on a review, and they're just batoning in their backyard. There's too many channels, there's larger channels already doing it, and doing it better with better editing, and they have a lot more views. So you got to make that first impression and stand out, you know? And I'm not trying to put anyone down. I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of tough love and, you know, creative criticism. So just think outside the box and do something different, okay? It's similar to how a television show will play a sitcom that has been played many times, say a Seinfeld or The Simpsons, and they already have their following, so they're going to get views regardless. But the new sitcom, the new television show has to really prove itself so the audience can really turn and look at it, and, you know, people can spread the word of mouth that it's a good show. You know what I mean? So you got to prove yourself as well. You need to make that great first impression. You need to make that second great impression, you know, and stay creative. And I'm going to give you guys 3 examples that have worked for Junkyard Fox. Not that I'm trying to pat my own back or nothing, but I'm trying to peel back the curtains so you guys can see the formula, you know, the gears that have worked behind the scenes. So, you know, you got to look at around you, your culture, your geography, all that stuff. So with Junkyard Fox, obviously we're in the desert. So we're visually, you know, a different place than Prepared Mind 101 and all that stuff. So obviously we're in the desert, right? And that separates us, you know, our geography from all the other channels. Now, at the beginning, honestly, this was a weakness. You know, I really wanted to make an outdoors channel and, you know, all these survival skills and gear reviews. But, you know, everything I was watching was in Ohio or Canada, the eastern woodlands. There was not a lot of information on desert stuff like 3 years ago. So I had to roll up my sleeves and really study and research, you know, what were the humans eating here and hunting 5,000 years ago. And, you know, even as recently as, you know, the ranchers and ranch hands and cowboys 100 years ago, and, you know, going to state parks and learning about the flora and the fauna. Eventually, as I learned these things and practiced them, this gave me a unique edge because now I can test knives and, you know, teach things that most channels can't. Dave Canterbury's not doing, you know, cactus water containers and stuff, as far as I know. So it really helped me stand apart. That once again, that took a lot of dedication because, you know, it's a lot of work before you do it. Okay, second is, say, knife reviews, because the ever popular knife review. We love to watch them, we love to make them, but once again, too many people are just doing the same batoning thing. You know, I knew from the start, when I was first getting into knives, that, you know, I loved watching knife reviews, but nobody was processing game, and that's, to me, very important, and that's the biggest reason I do outside stuff, because I like catching things and eating them. So I knew that when I was going to review knives, I was going to process game, and I think that ended up giving me an edge where you can watch a big channel and they can do, say, a bow drill, like Feral Woodcraft. You could do a bow drill and, you know, very woodcrafty stuff, and that same knife I can make a video on, and people are still going to watch my video because I can do something different. Yeah, and vice versa. You know, people can watch me skin a trout with that, or a rabbit, and then they can go watch him do more woodcraft stuff. So we complement each other. You know what I mean? So that's what you really want to do, stand apart. And then last one, of course, is Cuervo Negro, my best buddy. He makes music for the channel, and, you know, I got lucky with that my best friend makes music, but I got that music. I told him, you know, your spaghetti western sounding, that folky bluesy sound can work well with, you know, out here in the mountains and desert. You know, it's very western, you know, when you think of Clint Eastwood movies, and that really gives it a distinct sound. So not only are you engaging your audience visually, but also with music, you know, stuff like that. So just look around you. What can you do different? All right, everyone. Number 3 is network and collaborate with fellow channels. Now, this helped us grow as well a lot. When we barely had about 70 subs, Leo from Irish Domination approached me, asked me if I wanted to be part of a review ring called the Outdoor Arena, very similar to the Gauntlet, where we review something, a knife, a backpack, and then send it off to another channel. They review it in their own way and then send it off to another channel. And that helped us grow because that provided us gear and items that otherwise we could not afford at the time. And, you know, we didn't have any sponsors or anything. So that helped us out. You know, if I shared my Swiss Army knife to send it out, Leo sent out a backpack. You know, so it provides content. It makes friendships where, you know, now you're friends with these people. So now you guys get to tag each other on little tag videos, you know, what's your 3 favorite knives, you know, those kind of things, you know, and that, once again, that provides content, and, you know, that really helped us out a lot. Now, disclaimer, we've also had a couple of bad experiences with some channels that were less than honorable, and, you know, just, there was a couple of bad experiences, but overall, general rule is outdoorsmen tend to be a little bit more honest. So don't let that, hold you back. Really want to get out there and network, and, that'll help you out. And once there's a lot of gear reviews on your channel and they're quality gear reviews, then, companies like Through Night and Mora's and all that stuff, they'll be interested in, sending you stuff. So everyone wants the free stuff, but you first got to show them what you can do. Okay, another thing, guys, is try to think like a business. Now, of course, you want to stay passionate about what you do, but put it this way: look for trends, look for holidays, and that's going to help you with videos. Maybe not in the long term, but it'll help you get some exposure. For example, an easy one is Christmas time. Everyone is shopping for stuff. Not only are the outdoorsmen shopping, but the wives of the outdoorsmen, the daughters, the relatives, they're shopping for that person that they know likes the outdoors. So they're going to be looking at knife reviews and backpacks and stuff like that. And that's where an audience that normally wouldn't look at your stuff is going to look at your stuff now. So here's your chance to shine. And when the holidays are here, you really want to make holiday themed type videos. Not always, but it helps. Christmas obviously is an easy one. But, you could do little things. 4th of July, we're going to cook up some really awesome bratwurst hot dogs out here while we're camping. Little stuff like that, you know what I mean? And that really will make people watch your stuff that normally wouldn't. And then another one is, of course, trends. Now, you don't want to be the trendy guy, but at the same time, you got to think like a business. One hard lesson that I had to learn is the Mora Garberg, for example. Everyone was excited about that full tang Mora 2 years ago, right? And then the knife comes out, and I get it. I'm one of the first people to get that knife. All these other channels that got it within the first couple months had pretty big videos. I waited over a year to make my video so I could get the relevant testing, and my video, though I consider it to be a far more well-rounded review, didn't get the views that when it was, when everyone was excited about it. Does that make sense? So, though I like my video, I prefer the quality over quantity. At the same time, there's, you got to strike while the iron's hot, particularly when you're trying to grow, and then you can slow down a little bit as you're getting bigger and you already have your audience. Alright guys, pointer number 4 is avoid filler videos, shoot for long-term relevance. Now, when you're first starting as a channel, you're going to be really excited to get yourself out there, and it feels really good when you get the likes and the comments and stuff. However, one thing that you gotta, I think, not a lot of people pay attention to is not only is it important what you put on your channel, but what you don't put as well. You really want to avoid the fluff, avoid the unnecessary stuff. You can make a video this week that will get you 200 views, for example, but 3 years down the line, that video is dead and it's getting no traffic, no subs, nothing. And it's not always possible, but when you can, you want to make a video that 3 years in the future, you're still getting comments on, and I just subscribed, I really enjoyed it and stuff like that. And that, once again, that's when creativity comes into play, and being pretty good at evolving your editing skills and all that stuff. So I think that really helps you out. This is where knowing your skills really comes in handy, especially if you know your bushcraft stuff and your self-reliance stuff. Oh, we're gonna skin a rabbit, stuff like that, because those things are gonna be relevant since the beginning of time to long after we're gone, so those things, that's where that really comes into play. And if you notice, a lot of these catch and cook channels, they have 100,000 views on, catching catfish or, stuff like that. So really go for stuff of substance. And once again, each of your videos should be something like an investment. Okay, guys, and last tip of, that I can give you is be social, use social media. It is 2018 and everybody and their mother, they're on Facebook and they're on Instagram and stuff like that. And you want to take advantage. You, as a channel, you're your own advertiser. So you want to get out there and have people be exposed to your content. Now, let's use Facebook, for example. There's a lot of groups on Facebook that are, concentrated for prepping and hiking and hunting and camping. That's the perfect audience for you to show your videos. Now, don't get annoying with it either. Don't become a spam machine just putting it out there. Nobody likes that. So, make sure you conversate with these people and get to know them, get to know their channels, and then share your stuff. And that's really going to help you out. Instagram is also great. Instagram really helped us a lot, actually. You get to show images or short little clips of what's coming up next week, what you're working on, the new item you got, the new place you're visiting, and that's really going to help people see, be part of the process and get more exposure from other people. And also share your videos if they pass. What I mean by that is I don't see a lot of videos from channels that they're sharing videos that they did a year ago or 2 years ago. And I personally always do, when the anniversary of a video comes up, I'll share it again if I'm proud of that video, if it's good, because if it's not, then I won't. But if 2 years passed and I'm still proud of this Swiss Army knife review, I'm still going to share it again. Keep in mind, once again, every video should be an investment. So somebody who didn't know your channel a year ago, now they get a chance to see it, and they may be really wowed, and that's how it wins them over. So once again, take advantage of social media, but don't overdo it where you're annoying either. Well guys, that's about the conclusion of this video. We're gonna enjoy the last of our steaks, our tacos out here, just have a good time. Next week we will get back to the usual Junkyard Fox skills and stuff like that. This was something more of a vlog because I just felt like I really wanted to share my advice, and I don't want anyone to be dissuaded and to be intimidated, that they don't have what it takes. Guys, there's not a doubt in my mind that somewhere out there there's some little channel with only 12 subscribers that 5 years from now is going to be huge. I know you guys can do it. You just got to roll up your sleeves and really put in the work and be creative, guys, and just get out there. So I hope this advice has worked for you guys. Now, if you are, obviously you're a YouTube audience member, right, and you like YouTube videos, go ahead and comment below, what would you like to see in more YouTube channels? And then if you do have a YouTube channel, go ahead and comment below what has worked for you to get more exposure, get more subscribers, and all that stuff. So thank you guys so much for joining us for the first video of 2018. I'll see you guys next week with another video. Now go outside and get your boots dirty.